Here's how to set boundaries in your friendships. If you got a friend who doesn't make you feel amazing, we're about to switch that right now.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, you're most welcome. Please join the family by hitting that subscribe button. And if you're a regular visitor, I would like to thank you so much for your continued support. It means a lot to me. In today's video, we're going to be talking about setting boundaries within a friendship. So I have stitched videos for us to watch together, and I'll be joining you on the other side with my 2 cents, with my thoughts. So please make sure you watch until the end to find out what I have to say. So let's dive in.
Here's how to set boundaries in your friendships. If you got a friend who doesn't make you feel amazing, we're about to switch that right now. The first thing I need you to understand is you get what you allow. If someone treats you terribly more than once, it's because you allowed it. After the first time someone does you wrong, you must show them very clearly, not with your words, but with your actions, that you do not allow it, else they're gonna do it to you again. And even though you might say, oh, you didn't allow it, you already talked to them about it, you allowed it by not making your actions speak loud enough. Your actions, when someone does you wrong, need to literally scream. If you ever do this again, you're done. So how do you make your point with your actions? It's all in your energy. For example, if someone is stepping back from you and just ignoring you a little bit, maybe they didn't do you wrong, but they're acting all weird, you double step back, sis. You show them with your actions, I respect myself enough that I don't even want someone in my life who can't communicate to me what's going on. A lot of times when people step back with no explanation, they expect you to what's wrong? What did I do? But that's not fair. You need to show them. If you have a problem, it's up to you to tell me. And if you step back instead of running forward and asking them what the problem is, they're gonna respect you more, and you're gonna show them. I don't allow people to just run away when they have a problem. If someone did you really wrong, like they really screwed you over, they didn't just step back, girl, you better take 800 steps back until they have proven to you that they are worthy of being in your life. It's really just an energy game. Like, you need to prove with your energy, I respect myself so much. You don't deserve my energy until you have earned it back. A lot of times we love our friends so much that they do us wrong and we want to chase them because we want to make the friendship work. But really, the way to make all friendships work is to always stay grounded. And when people ever do you wrong, you stand your ground, because then they're going to respect you more and know that you will not accept ever being treated like that, because you respect and love yourself. I hope this helps. Comment below any other questions or advice you need when it comes to friendships, confidence. You know I got you. Love you guys. Bye.
So when you set a boundary comes with a consequence. So if I say to you, my boundary is, please do not yell at me. I don't like when you communicate with me and you raise your voice. If you yell at me, the consequence is I'm going to stop talking or communicating with you 100%. Like, I'm not going to answer your phone calls anymore. I'm gonna remove myself from this relationship. That's my consequence. And without that, then I just prefer you not to do that action. But without a consequence, that's not a boundary. I said, I've been having preferences all my life.
That's all I have is preferences. I don't have boundaries.
Because there were never consequences for it.
I'm gonna allow you to do something over and over again. But I haven't told you, if you continue to do this, there would be a disconnect. I don't have that because it's a level of people pleasing.
I'm afraid that if I tell you what the consequence is, then you're going to be okay with my absence. And because I struggled with abandonment issues, I'm willing to put up with your action even though it's harming me.
The older that I get, the more I understand how important it is to have boundaries, because people will play in your face until the day you die if you let them. And the worst part about it is that after you hit like that 25-year mark, you can't blame that shit on nobody but yourself. You have to take full accountability. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't stand when shit is my motherfucking fault. Like, you mean to tell me I have to take so much accountability to the point where I might have to dig deep into my childhood trauma and figure out what it is that my mom and dad did or said to me when I was younger that makes me allow people to treat me like shit and walk all over me in my adult life? Who the fuck has time for that?
Now, I know a lot of people hear the word boundaries and immediately think it's about pushing people away or being cold or distant. But boundaries aren't about building walls. They're about creating guidelines for how we want to be treated. They protect our peace, our energy, and the integrity of the friendship itself. So, today we're going to walk through 6 essential boundaries that every healthy relationship needs. I'll explain each one, talk about why it's important, and give real life examples so you can recognize what these boundaries might look like in your own life. So let's get into it. The first boundary is one that so many people struggle with, especially when they really love their friends, and that is time boundaries. Now, a time boundary is all about protecting your availability. It means recognizing that you can't always be on call, and that even if you care about someone deeply, you still need time for yourself, your job, your family, as well as your rest. So let me give you an example. Let's paint a picture here, right? Imagine you have a friend who loves to talk on the phone, like every single night for an hour or more. And you used to do that too, but lately you're feeling overwhelmed. Yeah, your working hours are longer, you're exhausted, and honestly, you just need some evenings to yourself. But every time they call and you don't pick up, they leave guilt trippy texts like, wow, I guess you're too busy for me now. That's a time boundary being disrespected. What you can say is, hello, friend. I love catching up with you, but I've been super swamped up lately and I need my evenings to recharge. Can we maybe set a specific time for each week to talk instead of every day? You're not being mean, you're being clear about your needs, and that's healthy. Next up, emotional boundaries. These are about separating your emotions from someone else's and not taking responsibility for their feelings, and also not letting them project onto you. Have you ever had a friend who vents to you constantly? And I mean constantly. They unload all their problems, drama, stress, sometimes even anger, and then walk away feeling lighter, but yeah, the one feeling emotionally drained? That's a sign your emotional boundaries are being crossed. It's okay to support friends, but it's also okay to say, I care about you a lot. And I don't always have the emotional energy to process everything with you. Would you be open to talking to a therapist or counselor about this? Or perhaps you could say, I want to be there for you, but I also need to protect my own headspace. Can we talk about something lighter today? That's not selfish. That's being emotionally mature. Now, let's talk about privacy and personal space because, yes, even your best friend doesn't need to know everything. Some people think being close means having full access to each other's lives, but real closeness respects when someone says, I don't feel like talking about that right now. So imagine this, you're going through a breakup, it's fresh, you're not ready to talk about it yet. But your friend keeps pushing. What happened? What did he say? Did you cry? Are you going to get back together? And when you say, I do not want to talk about it, they get offended. A respectful friend would hear that and back off. Here's something you can say. I'm not ready to share the details right now, but I promise I'll open up when I'm in a better headspace. Respecting privacy builds trust, and sometimes the best support you can give is space. Moving on to the next one. Okay, this one is awkward, but we have to talk about it. Money. Friendships and finances always don't always mix well. Never. And that's why financial boundaries are essential. So you've got a friend who always wants to go out to expensive places, brunch, dinner, girls trip, and you love spending time with them. But it's just not in your budget right now. You feel guilty for saying no, so you go anyway, and then end up stressed, broke, and resentful. Here's how you can set a boundary. You can say, I really want to hang out, but I'm on a tighter budget right now. Can we do something more low key this time? Or if they keep borrowing money and not paying it back, I'm guilty of this one. It's totally okay to say, I'm not in a position to lend money right now, but I'm happy to support you in other ways. Saying no to protect your finances isn't rude, it's responsible. Now, moving on, communication boundaries are all about how we talk to each other. Are your conversations respectful? Do you feel safe being honest? Can you disagree without it turning into a full blown argument? Let's say you have a friend who constantly jokes at your expense. Maybe they tease you about your weight, your dating life, your job. They laugh and say, relax, I'm just joking. But deep down, it hurts. That's a communication boundary being crossed. You can say, I know you're joking, but those comments actually hurt. That says more about them than it does about you. Good communication includes active listening, mutual respect, and the ability to talk to each other, not at each other. Last but definitely not the least, your energy. This boundary is about recognizing that you don't have to be available 24/7, 365, physically, mentally, or emotionally. Some friendships become one sided. You're always the one checking in, always the one making plans, always the one giving advice. But when you need something, it's crickets. You have the right to ask for balance. For example, I've noticed I've been reaching out a lot more lately. I love our friendship, but I want it to feel mutual. Can we both make the effort? Or maybe you just need some time. What you can say is, I've really been drained lately and need some solo time to recharge. Just wanted to let you know it's not personal. Boundaries around your energy aren't about shutting people out, they're about making sure you're not giving from an empty cup. So there you have it. 6 boundaries that every healthy friendship needs. I'll go through them one more time. The first one is time, second, emotional, third, privacy, fourth, financial, fifth, communication, and last but not the least, energy. Certain boundaries might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're a people pleaser like me, or you're used to always being available. But I promise you it's worth it. The friendships that matter will not only survive your boundaries, they'll respect them. And if someone can't handle you having needs, maybe that friendship isn't as solid as it seemed. Now, let me know in the comments which boundary was the hardest for you to set or which one you're working on right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who might need to hear it. Thanks for spending time with me today. Take care of yourself, and I would definitely see you in the next one. Bye.